Hi everyone. I'm really excited to introduce the method of note-taking that we use for 6th grade this year to you. This is called a flipped classroom, and a flipped classroom is where you take the notes on your own and then we do activities in class to complement and help us learn the material a little bit better. One of the great things about this method of note-taking is that you can go at your own pace. You can stop the video and you can replay the video if you need to. You can stop the video and jot down questions that you have that you need to ask if you want to, and then restart the video. You also have the video at your disposal if you're at home doing some work and you need to review the video. For instance, if you're getting ready for a test or a quiz, you'll be able to go back and look at the videos if you'd like to. So you've gotten your note packet for this first section of Unit 1, and our first set of notes is 1A, compare and order whole numbers. This probably is a review for you, but that's okay. It's a great place to start with a little bit of a review. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to fill in some of our blanks here, and you can see that we've got use symbols to compare numbers. And then the symbols that we're going to be using are the greater than, the less than, and the equal sign to compare these whole numbers. We'll be dealing with whole numbers in this first lesson. Another thing we might be asked to do is you may be asked to order your numbers from greatest to least or from least to greatest. So you'll want to make sure that you pay attention to the directions. If you're like me, sometimes I run ahead and do what I think I'm supposed to do with math and I don't take the time to read the directions. So I want to encourage you to slow down and read the directions. All right, let's go ahead and get started with our first problem here. So again, we're going to use these symbols to compare these numbers. So our first set of numbers here are 5,426 and 5,246. I know that some of you will look right away at this and say, well, 5,426 is larger than 5,246. But if it wasn't evident to us right away, what we could do is we could line the numbers up, starting with the ones place and lining them up digit for digit. So let's go ahead and do that. So we've got, there's our 5,426. Now I'm going to take my next number, ones place under the ones place, tens place under the tens place, hundreds place under the hundreds place, thousands place under the thousands place. Now I'm going to compare starting with the largest place value and moving to the smallest place value. And as soon as I find that one number is larger than the other, I know that that number is larger. So the fives don't tell me anything because they're both worth 5,000. But when I move over to the hundreds place, I see that the 4 in the top number is larger than the 2 in the bottom number, which means that this number is larger than this number. So we want that open mouth, the bigger, wider gap, to go towards the larger number, and the arrow, the smaller pointer, to go towards the smaller number. All right, so let's use that same method down here with 1,234 and 11,234. So again, we'll write our 1,234, and then we'll start with the ones place and line this up. So that's a 4 in the ones place, a 3 in the tens place, a 2 in the hundreds place, a 1 in the thousands place, and a 1 in the 10,000s place. So we know that since this number has more digits with whole numbers, it's bigger because it has a 1 in the 10,000s place, and this one then would have, we could put in a 0 here if we wanted to, just make a dotted 0. So we know that this number is larger because it's longer. With whole numbers, the bigger numbers, the longer numbers are larger. And so we want to have our less than symbol over here. All right, our next number then, 9,932 and 9,932. Well, they're both exactly the same. They both have a 9 in the thousands place, a 9 in the hundreds place, a 3 in the tens place, and a 2 in the ones place. And so, of course, we'll use our equal sign there to show that those are exactly the same. Now we're on to ordering our numbers. All right, so now we're going to order these numbers from least to greatest. So you can see I've stacked my numbers up here, lining up the ones places, the tens places, and the hundreds places. And I found as I looked at the hundreds places that 2 was the smallest hundreds place, so that's my smallest number. And then 5 was next, so that's my middle number, and 8 was largest, so that is my largest number. So it's 248 is the smallest number, 541 is in the middle, and 834 is our largest. So let's look at our next one here. Now be careful here because now we're going from greatest to least, so we want to choose the biggest number. So you see that I've lined my numbers up, lined up the ones digits, the tens digits, the hundreds digits, and the thousands digits. And you can see that this one doesn't have a thousands digit, so it is going to be smaller than the rest of them. So that is our smallest number. We can go ahead and put that one down at the end of our list. And we've got that one taken care of. Alright, so we're going to look here, and we see that these both have ones in the thousands place, and this has a 3. So our 3,465 is going to be our biggest number. So we can put that at the beginning of our list here. Now we've got to look at the two that we have left. They both have ones in the thousands place, doesn't help us. Both have twos in the hundreds place, doesn't help us. But this one has a 5 in the tens place, whereas this one has a 3. So this one's larger than this one. So 1,254 and then 1,235. All right. Now that you have finished your notes, I want you to put a star at the top of your page so that you can show that you have finished 1A. Nice job, people.